City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! That is one Derby Diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs. I'm Dylan alongside Mila and Grant as always. This is episode 28 or 18 plus 10. We're recording this on Super Bowl Sunday since we all decided to boycott that shit. Because as real Americans, we don't actually watch our, nation sport. Let's go into the agenda. This should be a quicker episode with an FA Cup recap as Chelsea lost to Brighton 2-1. United beats Leicester in not Fergie time. And then hopefully we'll have a special guest for the City Real Madrid preview that we're going to do since, UCL madness is going to happen over the next 2 weeks. Let's jump into it with that Chelsea loss to Brighton 2-1. Grant, your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like I keep saying it every week, but that was one of the worst ones yet. I mean, we scammed
Insert
that
Ange
really. The light at the end of the tunnel is the oncoming train. This was a Brighton side that just came off of a 7-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest. They made one change and beat us 2-1. I'm a big UFC fan, and sometimes they say styles make fights. So, I mean, you can attribute some of that to this. Obviously, we're a team that likes to come play versus a Forest who will sit back and kind of beat you on the counter. So, obviously, you can see how they get 7. But clearly, I'm dodging. That was an awful performance. That goal that we got early, I mean, again, it was a cross. The keeper put the ball into his own net. We didn't create a big chance the entire game. The setup was definitely something I haven't seen yet this year, with no strikers, since we didn't bring one in January. Both of our striking options were hurt. So Nkunku played as a false 9, which actually looked a little better than him playing as a out-and-out 9, which isn't saying too much. Dewsbury Hall and Palmer were double 8s. Just getting the extra man in midfield, but our wide players weren't much of a threat. So, yeah, 0 big chances created. Brighton got that equalizer within, the next 5 minutes. Nothing really happened, and then they scored a Jamie goal, but we didn't really do anything. That's why I don't feel too hard done by, even though, I mean, it was a blatant handball. If they had VAR, that goal doesn't stand, but it just doesn't even feel like we did enough to be in the conversation of, oh yeah, if it was tied, maybe we would have got the winner. It didn't even feel like it was coming, even after they scored. There just wasn't any fight in the team. Madueke comes on, not much from him. George, young player, didn't see too much there either. Enzo comes on, too little too late. There weren't even any options on the bench because we loaned out a lot of our guys. You saw João Felix left, so he's not an option. Maybe think about putting him there at false 9. Similar to what United did, probably not on as bad of a level, but we let some guys go and didn't replace them, including in the midfield. Dewsbury Hall was not in the plans. They were trying to sell him, and now he's starting games because there's no midfield cover. It's a bad look. How can we have no cover in multiple positions and areas when we've spent the amount of money we've spent? Our debts were cleared, new ownership comes in, and they just start spending like crazy, and where has all that money gone? I think we've signed a lot of good young players. I think we've signed talented guys that play a lot of different positions, but at a certain point, I mean, I just was talking about it the last time we recorded, we need someone who can impact the team now. We've signed tons of project players, tons of players we can sell for a profit. You can see that the identification of talent, typically they are signing talented players, but at what point do we need to focus on where the team's at right now in the present to move forward? that's kind of the overarching thoughts that are coming for me. I've been saying a trophy's important, and we're out of another competition, so it's got to be the Conference League, Club World Cup also. But yeah, concerning stuff. We play Brighton again the end of the week. Jackson's hopefully back. I mean, you saw how much we missed him, and he hasn't scored since December. So it just shows how quick stuff can change. I mean, I was a week away from admitting to being in a title race 2 months ago. Look where we're at. Look where we're at. I mean, and it was serious though. It was a real thought. I mean, I had even worse thoughts that I'm so glad I didn't release.
We were questioning the entire time the consistency of it all.
Yeah.
That was the main thing, was trying to decipher whether it was a purple patch or like a little peak spike in form, or if this was the new Chelsea. And it's clear that you guys were overperforming for a bit. There's crumbs to what can be there, but right now I think there's definitely things that need to be addressed. And like you said, we've talked about it plenty on this pod. It's the striker, the goalkeeping situation. I didn't watch this game. I was scouting.
No, you didn't miss anything. It was not great.
But from what you've said, it wasn't really goalkeeping errors in this one, but not like against Sanchez, cup goalie type thing, whatever.
Yeah, that's a big positive to take. If that's the case,
if
he's the
that's
cup
the
keeper,
case,
yeah,
that's going to be the bigger question.
I need that to be the case. But I mean, Jorgensen was playing all the cup games this year before this point of the dropping, so that hopefully is my silver lining that I could take. I think similar to what you were just saying, how good we looked up until that point. I sent you guys that tweet earlier, but like expected goals performance in all competitions plus 9.3, and then from December 22nd, which was Everton, the draw, till now is negative 1.9. I mean, there's all these stats that back up the eye test of just the forwards not producing. Big chances created. Every attacking stat has just dropped off in that point. And Palmer, I mean, we've seen the amount of like key passes, chances created, all this stuff. I mean, he's still doing what he can, but no one's really getting on the end of anything. Like you said, the profiles that we lack. I think you alluded to it, like maybe even a month or two ago, Dylan, where we signed a lot of players that are good players. They look good, but as a unit, they don't mesh. Their skill sets don't really work off of each other. Like you see all these low blocks that we're starting to see give us a lot of problems. Neto's over there that looks like he can cross one in, but we have no one that can really get on the end of a cross. You don't have that profile of a striker. Sancho, he looks at his best. We saw when he first really got minutes is when there's guys making runs off of him. He can play the 1-2s. He's by himself. What's he going to do? Not take his man on. He needs that support. You're starting to see that these players, while they are talented, as a cohesive unit, they're not sustainably creating lots of chances over 90 minutes. So that's starting to become an issue because could be wrong here, but I felt like at the beginning of this bad run, it just felt like we weren't finishing, but now it doesn't even look like we're creating too many chances. So I was always saying at some point it'll end, you turn it around, but at what point, you got to do something to turn it around. So starting to get a little bleak. Thankfully, we're in fourth still because of how good we started the season, but I mean, it's now or never. We're past the halfway point. You gotta get serious. I mean, you're starting to see that lack of experience and not knowing what to do in these positions. I mean, it's I don't know how it's going to end at. Even when we were in this run, I was still thinking, we turned around top 4, Champions League spots, whatever. I'm starting to doubt it. They got to show something. They have to show me something else. I mean, you're just not seeing it. Bar Caicedo, Palmer every week. Not everyone's showing the levels that they were. So, I'm starting to question it.
That was kind of what I got. It was lifeless. And it was so interesting because after the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, this game's going to be a banger. I'm going to change.
Right, yeah.
I had the Madrid derby on on my big screen. I had Chelsea down on my laptop. And I was like, I'm going to change this in a second. And the game never got back on from both sides. from Brighton's point of view, I know they got smacked 7-0, but there's a certain level of like, you got showed up and you got fucked pretty hard. Like, you better come in, especially at home. Like, they were never going to lose like that again. But they were also not tested today or yesterday. This Chelsea side is just lacking spark outside of Palmer. And you can kind of start to tell that it's weighing on him. Like, certain passes that he was making earlier in the year to Jackson or to Palmer, to Neto or to Sancho, he's not making those anymore because he thinks he's got to do it himself. I am going to give Sancho a little bit of slack here because, look, he was a lone player, right? They use this expression in like basketball, but like, you bought a role player. Like, he comes with flaws. Like, that's the whole point of having a role player. Like, Sancho is a role player. So I think in my head that the conversation now needs to go from, maybe this isn't just a players thing and maybe it needs to turn more tactical because the manager hasn't made a change in a long time. And if he continues down this path of not making a change, because he's had every player to his disposal, it's not like he hasn't had that. He had Felix, didn't play him, let him go.
Mhm.
Had all these
That
other.
comes down to the makeup of the squad, I think. When we've talked about it, you've talked about it, that the makeup of their squad made really no sense. So when you have all these, you can have all the pieces you want, but if they don't fit, then the fuck are they? What's the use?
Yeah.
But he's also not like, this is the first game Nkunku's played and started in how long?
Yeah, he doesn't start. He plays a lot of Conference League.
Right, so you're forced. Like, I understand it. I understand it because I assume that they thought Nkunku was leaving and not Felix. But if this is the case, right? Like, I don't know. Every game I look at their right wing and I go, like, why can't we just? And I was talking about it last week. Like, why can't they just pull Palmer out of frame? And it doesn't need to be for all game, but just for some of it, and put Nkunku there. Like, that's how I would want to see him line up next week.
I
If I'm
mean, I
being
get
completely
that, but
honest.
I think Grant covered it. Like, the fullback doesn't overlap for that. It's just not in the make, and that goes back to what you were saying. Like, it's not in the makeup of the team for them to do that. It's not in their DNA for them to do that.
I guess Facundo was talking about this last week though, but why can't they just overlap the
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
fullbacks?
you
this
see the
is the
fullback.
thing
You
too.
saw
Like,
Gusto. He just hovers in the half space when he would dump the ball off to Neto. Like, whether he's going to be an underlap, overlap, he doesn't really do anything with that space.
Wasn't
So
that like what he was good at last year though? Was the overlap? Like,
overlap,
I
yeah,
remember him being
traditional
good
right back.
at
Mhm.
He
doing
was
that. So
very good. Yeah,
he was really poor again. Maybe it's just like a
he wasn't
regression in
great.
some of the players. Like, he was poor,
Yeah,
really
no,
bad.
he doesn't really fit the way we want to play. If you look at the overarching thoughts versus like a Poch team where it's just running, counterattack, overlap, just bomb forward. Like, Gusto absolutely thrived in that. But yeah, I think Mila makes a good point. The makeup of the team just doesn't really mesh well. I think Maresca, while liable for some of these games, he's starting to show those quick substitutions again, like when Guiu came on and we're going to put a real 9 up top because we keep crossing the ball and that's our best bet. So he started to become more proactive, like I was talking about the false 9 thing. He's trying to switch things up with the different personnel. This is the locked squad for the rest of the year. But things just aren't working. He went to 2 in the back again. Both of the fullbacks got forward in possession. He's trying with what he has. I think he did. I think he was probably the primary reason we were in the title race up until this just drop off in form. I think he's shown more than enough. You're starting to see our fans, some of them already losing patience, which is crazy to me. But I think the conversation comes more to the squad build, and I think that is a responsibility if we're dishing out blame. I think the sporting directors are primarily responsible for this scattergun approach that we always criticize of, oh, João Felix, he looked fun for 6 months on loan. Yeah, bring him back in because we need to sell someone. I think these guys making those decisions, just bringing in players that they see fit versus who the manager sees fit, that's who I would probably hold responsible for this sort of issue that we're facing now.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. I think they deserve a majority of the blame as well. But it's funny because I actually think Facundo's points make a lot more sense. What he was talking about last week, to Chelsea's kind of structure in the sense of like, how willing are you to continue playing your style and not make a change to see results? Like, it, because it's so tough because you're right there. We talked about it. You're you're in the top 4 right now, but if you continue to play your style and you don't get results and you fall out of that, like, where does that, for you, do the results matter more than the performances now? Like, maybe in the beginning of the season it wouldn't have, and I would agree that it wouldn't have, but like right now, if you were to say, hey, we're not playing the best football, I don't enjoy a lot of what we're doing, but we're picking up results, and you guys get top 4, compared to if you were to have better performances but not pick up those results.
I mean, I think back to like the West Ham game's a good example. I don't think that was a particularly good performance. Do you guys? The one where we won 2-1? That was not a good performance.
Watched the whole thing.
Own goal to take the lead, the Palmer cross, Neto scored a really jammy goal, went down early. I'll take those. To your point, I'd rather have that. I would prioritize results over performance. Now, to where you're saying, how do they get it? I think the style, because again, he's making tweaks, but it's still very positional. It's rigid. And I think that's where the problem starts to come, because in that final third, the rigidness is really preventing us from creating any chances. So I don't really think we have. I'm just thinking about the makeup of the team. Like, what's the change? Just let them free roam. Like, let Palmer just drift wide, and that right winger gets sent. Like, what's the solution?
It might be. I don't. That's the issue. Is we don't get paid enough to have that answer. But
paid enough.
I think
we don't get paid at all. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah. No, we definitely don't get paid. But yeah, like, I just don't know what the answer would be, other than just like, I don't know, give them more freedom in the final third, kind of like that's what Bournemouth do. That's their approach, where it's like in that final third, just freedom, just go for it. So
but the tactical change cannot be Palmer go. That's not a tactical change.
No.
Exactly.
You're right though.
Palmer go Burr.
Yeah.
Basically,
Palmer go Burr. Ooh, so gold.
Yeah, exactly. Like 3 in the back, like, you know what I mean? Like, our squad doesn't fit that.
This is where I think what we've talked about in the age of your squad too comes into play. It's like,
of course,
when you want to adapt to these things, these players are just trying to find their feet right now. They're not ready to switch system. If he does need to switch system too.
Bro, the midfield cover we got, it's a Strasbourg signing. He's supposed to go there.
He's literally just there to train and hug Caicedo. He doesn't speak English?
No, bro, he's 19 years old.
What's the matter? What's the issue with that?
No, not at all an issue. I'm just saying we're just signing a kid who's supposed to be at Strasbourg, and the kid at Strasbourg is supposed to be here. Like, again, that's who it comes down to.
Yeah, wait, why didn't you guys just...
why don't we just bring Santos back and send him to Strasbourg now? Those fans, those French ultras, they don't fuck around. So maybe that's why, but...
You guys should have put some buyback in for Broja. It was Broja?
Broja got hurt again. They tried to cancel the loan, and we were like, no, you can't cancel the loan. Because the loan didn't even start until he got fit, which was like November. So we were paying his wages until November. And then he actually had a cameo or two, then got hurt. It's sad. That's a sad one. Because like, he could have probably been that profile. He had an ACL that totally derailed everything. But yeah, maybe that could have been the profile. Fuck.
I'm
brutal
kidding.
Game.
He's not good enough to be your guys' striker.
Definitely not anymore. But
personally, if Jackson is healthy, I'd like to see Nkunku in the 10 for one game and just see if it works.
Yeah, I mean the game
and have
the West Ham game. The West Ham game, he came on as a left winger, and then Cucurella was the one holding the width.
Right.
So again, another adjustment. But Nkunku in that half space, do we have hope? Are we back? Like, that's much better. That's what you're going to get the best out of him there. You're definitely not getting the best out of him up top.
If we're good talking about Chelsea, because I'm going to finish on my point that I have about the squad makeup, and we can jump into United because it's the same thing. The same solution is the same thing for me in terms of Chelsea and United.
All right, let's hear it, Dylan.
Both teams aren't scoring goals, so put as many players who can fucking score goals on the pitch. That's my opinion. Like, there's a certain level of, like, you're not going to win every game 1-0. It's just not going to happen. So stop playing, like, it's almost too defensive in a sense. Like, it's like you're playing with, like, stolen money a little bit. You're like, oh, I think maybe if we just hold off for the majority of the game, we can scam it out. Like, no, neither Chelsea or United are good enough defensively for that to be the case. Right? Yeah, so like in the United game, 2-1, they win on, an offside header from Maguire. That's like
so bad.
so bad.
What a bad miss.
United for the entire first half, maybe the most boring game of football I've watched ever. And then they go down. It's the same storyline every United game. They fucking reek. And I'm totally with Amarim going like, what the fuck you want me to do here, right? Like, that's fine. That's fine, but I can't sit here, and I don't even have a three takeaways because it was so unenjoyable.
That's the first takeaway.
The first
The match
takeaway
was
is that it's
unenjoyable as fuck.
super unenjoyable. I did not enjoy myself. 2, good for Harry Maguire. You scored an offside goal and a winner. Yeah.
And celebrated against his old club.
Hold that rude.
And 3, we moved on. Like, what am I supposed to take from that match? It's fucking terrible. They're terrible.
There's literally nothing.
It's hard I feel like for you too, because at least with the new manager, the hope is like, I could see something, just some development of the football as we go along. But if it's already out like this, that Amarin doesn't want a majority of these guys, why the fuck are they going to try to go and improve his football? Also, it's a crazy situation to be in, I think.
Georgiou on the right, is that's probably an interesting...
He explained it as he wanted him next to him on the touchline so he could talk to him.
Okay,
which is totally fine. Look, the fuckers played right wing.
Game, basically.
Yeah.
He's saying everyone else is lost and this is the only guy who can coach, so I'm kicking him.
He's like, I can mold this. Yeah, just put him getting subbed off at half, I'm gonna hope was a
he's played 45 minutes. He's played 45. Yeah.
Because the reasoning for him playing on the right would have made the same amount of sense if at halftime he had just moved him to the left. You know what I mean? Because he would have been on the touchline there too. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that's pre-planned.
Yeah, all good.
He's like, no, sorry, I cannot play the left.
Which is so funny because the whole time we were like, dude, his name is Left. He plays the left. And then the first game he plays on the right, which he's played there a lot for. He played there a lot for Legend.
Right.
So, sure.
He doesn't have a position.
Sure.
He's 20 years old and he's just kind of played everywhere.
He was our most physical player. It wasn't like an amazing cameo, but he had some sparks.
It's like what you can get.
Yeah.
It doesn't define him after 45 minutes.
No. For me, it's just like, what do you do to fix United? And for me, it's just put more guys on the field that can score goals. They have 4 attackers for the rest of the year. So, look, Højlund's going to have to play. Xerxes going to have to play. Garnacho's going to have to play. They're all going to have to play. Whether they score or not, I don't fucking know. And to be honest with you, the fact that Højlund and Xerxes were responsible and Garnacho were all responsible for the first goal is very funny. It's very funny. Because I'm talking about it like it's this massive issue and they were all involved. But in my opinion, and the only time I've seen us actually play well is when Ahmed's at right back, at the right wing back position. And he's got to play there for the rest of the year until you can get one, which is so frustrating because they could have just got Fernandez on the buyback and had him here with Dorgu and they could have just played them both.
Yeah,
for 18 million.
You need a striker. That would solve so much. Because if you have great wingbacks bombing up and down, putting in deep crosses, then...
Well, I think he likes inverted wingbacks, like Dorgu.
He likes, yeah.
Like,
right. Even... Wait,
but they're still putting in crosses.
It's on the left.
It's like...
foot.
It's no crossing.
I mean, look, Højlund's bad. He's been bad. His touch is awful. He also gets no service. So it's not like getting like if we got a striker today, I'd feel better. He'd maybe score a goal every once in a while, but it wouldn't be like
have to be a
life changing.
Dude, you
have to be like a sicko that doesn't have a phone and just walks to practice.
You know who I would love at Chelsea?
Puts his boots on.
You know who I think would be perfect at Chelsea? Mateta. He would be so awesome.
You've brought this up, and I think he's the typical guy to be fucking coming to Chelsea, and then he would never see
the
back of the net ever again.
He'd be like,
see the back of the net never
Dude, he'd score 4 goals, and they'd all be game winners. Dude. Like 70, 80 minutes, can't score, bring him on, cross.
He'd be like, oh, he's not technical enough for our system. Let's leave him on the bench, tell him he's not good enough, then we'll loan him out. Like...
No.
Yeah. I have to know. Mateta would be great at every at all of our teams except for
Mateta's
Mila's.
Yeah, no.
I don't.
Mateta's pretty much French Holland, so
Fair enough.
minus the hair.
Ew.
Minus the hair. It's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I think Dorgu's got to play the left, and then Ahmad's got to play on the right, and then you got to have Garnacho on the left 10 space. You got Manu in the right 10, and then you play Bruno because he's the only one who can fucking find a ball.
Right, yeah, that's why he's in the pivot, and he's doing well there.
Dude, it was so crazy how many times he just fucking was pinging balls across to both wingers, and it was like Dallo collecting it, and then just him shitting his pants.
He's so
Right,
bad.
like we've talked about
It just
Ugarte
doesn't work.
For all
He's
Ugarte
so
does
bad.
in the
This makes
system
no
that he
sense.
understands, he does well. Like he's not progressing the ball, so you need that other guy to be able to do it. So Bruno's doing what he has to do. Bruno's
Ugarte
doing
was
the job
doing
there.
it too, but it just kept falling to fucking Dallo.
Oh,
I
man,
can't
what happened?
watch it anymore. And
What
I've been on this since the system changed. It's like it just doesn't work.
Was he cloned?
He's a right back.
Was he cloned?
I don't know.
The drop off is crazy. Like you said, player of the year to just, oh my goodness, he's terrible every week.
It's
That's
just
where
it's
it
not
comes
his
into,
position.
Like, what we were talking about systems too, though. Like
I
just
know. I
happens.
feel bad for him because he's just being left out to dry. He's also not a left back. You know what I mean?
He
Like
can't
he's not
play,
even
though.
playing right back.
He can't play. He's not playing well right now, though.
No.
In any position that I see him in, like
I
every
agree.
time, he's just not playing well. So
No, he's just not a right wing back or a left wing back. He's not a wing back. Those guys are forwards, in my opinion. That's why Ahmed's got to play there, and that's why Dorgu's got to play there, because at least you're getting more attacking players on the field. Because every time United go out there, it's like they're playing a man down on offense. So you almost have to overcompensate. And I'd rather see them try to go for games than try to win them all 1-0. Because that's not one, it's not enjoyable to watch. And I assume Amram doesn't enjoy watching that either. But he just feels like that's the best way to get results and try to implement the system at the same time. It's just tough to watch. As a fan, I want to see them do this. Will he do this? I doubt it. I doubt it, but I'd like to see it. I guess the last thing I'll say on the United thing is Xerxes and Højlund do that really weird thing where every time they make a cameo, it's better than them starting. So I'm starting to think that Amram should just pick the worst player, like for that individual game, play them for 60, and then sub on the other one, and try to win the game in the last 30 minutes. Because like I don't get it.
Yeah, it does keep.
I
happening.
don't get it.
It's happening all year.
Really
It
strange.
might just be pressure. Both of them just might not be able to handle that pressure.
It's like when you're like randomly like Martinelli's grabbing the ball for a penalty. You know what I mean? Or like Gakpo's grabbing the ball for a penalty, just because we all know that Salah's going to come on and take the penalty. And that's what United should do at their striker position. It's just run a dude out there for 60 minutes.
You're like, okay, tire out the defenders as much as possible so the other guy can get in there and wreak havoc.
Bro, like, yeah.
Oh,
actually,
man.
I saw that clip of Xerxes again, what he did to Saliba in that FA Cup game. Like, that was nice.
He put belt to ass to Saliba. And then
What happened after
and then he
that?
looks blind a week later, bro. Like, it's crazy.
He's got techers. He just doesn't
It's never been that he's shit. That's never what we've been saying about him. It's that he just doesn't look like he has a role on the pitch.
He lacks the intensity that the Prem requires.
It's so funny because some games he's got it and others he just doesn't. Like, I see him sprinting. I'm like, wait, you can do that? Like, that's in your bag? And then all of a sudden the next game I see him come on and he's just like jogging. I'm like, where did this go? You just came on as a sub. You can sprint. I don't know. Yeah, United suck.
At least you're not Tottenham.
Oh, let's finish on a really high note for this podcast.
Plymouth.
1, Liverpool 0. The quadruple is gone. They lost to the last place team in the championship. There is something beautiful about the FA Cup, and that's why if anybody ever says that it's not important,
it's a magical competition.
this is an important competition to the history of the sport in England. Like, it matters. It so fucking matters. And that's why it matters, is because on any given fourth round draw, the last place in the championship can go in and beat the top team in the Prem, which is fucking incredible. It's fucking incredible. It's...
Unstoppable Liverpool go up against Plymouth. Which
Yeah,
Plymouth?
a lot of big teams
dude.
out. A lot of big teams out early. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, if you want to count them. Yeah, they went out. They played today. That game was funny.
What
The
city's still in it
game.
though?
Villa Tottenham. Yeah, City and United are the only.
Which city is still in it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
big
you, bro.
win against Leyton
I'll
Orient.
include
Big
you.
win against Leyton Orient. Huge victory, Mila. Any thoughts on that game? Massive victory.
It's cool to see the
by.
youngers play. Nico Gonzalez got his welcome to England. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
why
say
did he get
welcome to
taken
the league.
out?
Hip. Their goal basically, he got hit, the guy landed on his hip. They win the ball back. The guy decides, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot it. 45 yards out, hits the crossbar, goes right into Ortega's back, and that's what I witnessed at 4:30 in the morning.
I probably would have been pretty close to running into my screen door. You know what I mean? Like,
scratching my eyes.
Crazy.
Like, bro, I would have been like, oh, my wake.
It was wild, but got one weird one back for sure.
Yeah, those goals were absurd.
Well, I mean, the first one was crazy because Rico just shoots it. It hits Kusanov, and he's just like, it's the first time you've seen him smile.
Banger. Nice.
Yeah.
Fucking funny.
I thought he scored like a banger goal. No. Fucking back.
And then yeah, the De Bruyne goal. It was nice to see, but he needs to play a little better, especially against a Leyton Orient.
He speaks no English, so instead of like, oh, he's just like, yeah, score.
That's the reason he scored is because he doesn't speak English.
They
probably were telling him to move out of the way, and he was just like, what? Dunk. Yeah, dude, Villa could have won that game 8-1.
Yeah, dude, if Malin wasn't just so
so
bad. Did you guys see the news with him?
Malin?
A big part of him coming to Aston Villa was to play Champions League, and he got left out of the Champions League roster.
Oh, that's tough. So who do they include? Rashford, Asensio?
Yeah, probably. They definitely.
To be fair, when
they have
no
center backs.
Yeah,
I bet you they had
no center backs.
And you only get 3, so that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Konsa got hurt as well, and he was their only center back playing because Kamara.
So they're playing Digne and are they playing Kamara there?
Kamara played at center back today, and then what's his name?
They brought on a mid.
Bogard.
Yeah.
He plays center back and like right back, but tucking in. Like he's a defender, but they're pretty thin there. And the Sassy, if they're gonna do that playing out the back, that is he's cup tied, so that's why he.
Someone said he joined, but he's alone.
Because I'm ready to talk City Madrid.
Yeah.
It's wide open. It's wide open, and that's a European spot. It's a Europa League spot. So, I think that's a pretty big tournament. Obviously, United are defending champs. City are in a shambles, but I still think winning a trophy's on their mind.
It absolutely matters.
And then, like I said, it's wide open. I think any team can really catch a bit of a heater, if you will, and make a run for it. So it'll be exciting competition to follow.
That Villa team is going to be super fun to watch going forward. I think, especially if they actually end up moving Rashford to the left and have Asensio on the right, because there was a bit of hoop sesh going on between those two and Morgan. Oh,
damn!
God,
I can't believe
it was fucking nuts.
Yeah, they were just trying to show off.
It was nuts, dude.
You know what I mean?
It was so fucking.
This is gonna be fun.
Hoopers.
You're right.
They're all hoopers. So.
Time to bring the cash jersey back out.
I was totally gonna buy the Rashford Villa jersey, and then it says Bet Inyo on the front, and I fucking hate that. So
yeah, I told you, bro. I forgot which one he was giving me stick for talking about ads looking like shit on the jerseys.
I hate that, dude.
It was you. It was me.
Yeah, fuck you.
I hate that so bad. I'm literally wearing a jersey that has Herbalife as a sponsor, which is, Ponzi scheme,
totally
pyramid scheme.
Organization. I don't know what you're talking about.
And at least it doesn't just look off. Like it's just like a block text. It's just there, right? But it's like I don't want to have a betting site on my stomach. You know what I mean?
Or you could have no sponsor.
Wait,
I'd actually rather have no sponsor on the Villa kit.
Yeah, for us, it's just more of an embarrassing thing because that's a revenue stream that we planned on having and failed to get, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it does kind of look decent on some of our jerseys. Our home shirt sucks.
Okay, do we have
let's
end
take
this
a break. Alrighty, now we're back. Welcome, Shadman.
What's
Welcome
up?
back to the podcast. We're happy to
Finally,
have you
dude.
back.
It's been a while.
I know, and now you actually get to talk about your squad, your
I
team,
know.
your real
I
team,
know.
not your
It's
fake
not a good
Arsenal
time to talk
fandom.
about them. I don't want to talk about them right now.
Well, you have to talk about them. The floor is yours. 1-1 draw after the Madrid. How do you feeling?
Well, we got scammed. With that being said, we're shit. Also, excuse my French.
It's okay.
Yeah, dude, it's really bad right now. We have no defenders. The only upside I would say going into the City game is that Vasquez got injured. So now we have no choice but to play Valverde right back.
Yeah, he is terrible.
So, our midfield might be a little weaker, but at least our back line isn't just completely AWOL.
Mistakes are going to be made.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, dude, I'm hoping we don't get cooked in the first half because I think we'll be able to actually push in the second because City's gonna collapse as they do, and that's it. Because Real Madrid starts games horribly, especially this season. They've always kind of started games poorly, but this season has been unbelievable. And Vinny and Mbappe just can't seem to play together, which is kind of expected, but also just so disappointing. It's like if both of them are on the field, one of them is going to have a poor game. And usually it's both of them. I would like Saliba to be announced immediately for as much money as exists in our accounts.
Dude, I was telling Shad, I do not care if they go and give Arsenal all the money in the world because I don't think they'll spend it anyways. So they can give them
Get another
150
team,
mil,
dog.
and they could literally be given the price tag of
They're like,
Isak.
no.
I don't think they'd be able to go get it. So it's fine.
They bid 75 mil on deadline day.
Real's gonna be like, here, take 150 million. They're like, no, 45, please.
Honestly, yeah.
Who's
From
gonna be in the
what we
back
know about
four?
Arsenal, they're cooked because now they have to find the striker and a center back and the center mid, a cam. I think they need a cam. Obviously, Zubamendi is already a target for them. But they need someone they need Ta to come in there for free.
He's
When
going
you
to
say
you
Saliba.
guys. He's going to
Well,
you guys,
of
though.
course.
No,
They'll
I
just
don't
ruin
think
Who's
Arsenal.
going
It's
I don't
okay.
think both. I don't think both of them will come. I don't think Ta will come because Rudiger's still gonna have a spot for another 2 years.
Oh, right. Only room for one black German guy on the team.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
have more than-
You can't have more. It's got to be French, or at this point Spanish, because we're
Yeah.
running out of
Yeah.
Spanish players.
To be fair, you guys
who's
are the
playing-
Blancos. So.
Yeah. Who's playing a center back right now? Is Tchouaméni still there with the
Yeah,
the
it's
youth?
Tchouaméni and Asensio. It's
Oh,
basically
man.
just Asensio. I mean, Tchouaméni had a good game last game. I thought
He's
actually
just not a center back.
Who's
he's
playing
not a center
left
back,
back?
bro. He gets caught
Is
out.
it Fran Garcia? You
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he's gonna play?
Yeah.
Him or
I mean,
Mendy?
Not Camavinga?
I mean,
Yes.
Camavinga just came back from injury. I think it's a little too much for him to just get
Two
in there.
midfielders at fullback.
That's what I'm wondering.
He was injured. He came back. He got injured again, and now he just came back. There's no way that guy should start against City.
Surely he could do a job in the midfield.
I think
against-
Fran Garcia has been better than Mendy.
He
I'll say
snatched
that much.
Mendy's chain.
He's better than Mendy. I mean, Mendy
Dude, he did.
he just looks like he's a fucking deer in headlights when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
I've heard for years, at least I see it on Twitter all the time, people complaining about Mendy and just how bad he is. So,
Dude, he actually was pretty good the first couple, the first few seasons that he was on the team.
Yeah, that's how Mendy's work, bro.
So athletic.
They're all like that.
He was so athletic that he could just touch the ball ahead and just go catch it. But it's gone. He's not as rapid as he used to be. He's not as strong as he used to be.
At least his FIFA card is still OP.
Yeah. I
Alphonso
think it's the
Davies.
last year for that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Alphonso
Yeah.
Davies is not coming.
Yeah, he re-upped at Bayern
Yeah, no.
too.
Honestly, I don't really want him.
Chilwell is going to be available in the summer, so we'll see.
Just trying to ship him off to anyone.
I think if there's an English player from Chelsea that we're gonna sign, it's gonna be Palmer, my friend. You won't be very happy about that.
Yeah. That would
Palmer
suck a lot of
Bellingham
balls,
would be
dude.
pretty
That would-
nuts.
Dude,
That
no,
would-
you can't
This
bring up
doesn't
Palmer
make
into that
sense,
squad.
dude. No,
bro.
I would
It's
hate
gonna
it.
Implode.
I would
No.
hate it. I would
Physically
hate it.
implode.
I think the
I'm
better
just-
storyline's probably the Barcelona boy coming back and getting revenge. Mark Guiu, if anybody. Nah, don't take Palmer, please. I'm glad that this is gonna sound crazy, but Madrid taking people. I'm glad the target went away from Reece James a little bit. I was hearing rumblings about
Yeah, they
that.
need
Then he
fit
just got hurt
players.
for 3
Yeah,
years.
we-
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't like that. I'm saying I'm happy that he wasn't playing, but I'm glad that they didn't come take him because
No,
he
they
doesn't
totally
play.
would have been there.
Oh,
If he wasn't,
Well, we
like,
played the
he
two
would've
legs
been
against them
smashed.
2-3 years in a row. Like him and Vinny are trading shirts. It's like, oh no, don't do that. Don't take our guy. So I'm glad they're gonna not do
If
that.
he didn't get injured 3 years in a row, I feel like he
would've
he
probably
been.
would have been there.
Let's
Nice.
change this segment of the pod to let's give Real Madrid our broken toys. You want Diego Dalot while we're at it? Like, you guys can take
I've
him.
heard
Really
the
good
I've been
right
seeing
back.
a lot of tweets about Diego Dalot to Madrid. Actually,
Look,
He can
just
play
a
left
bunch
back.
of Man United fans being like, "Bro, he's
Hey,
clear
man.
to Alexander Arnold. Come on,
So much better. Please take our
take him
garbage.
take him off our hands."
Once Courtois done, you might need a keeper. We have a Spanish one.
No,
Heard you
no.
talking about Spaniards. We have two actually. You
Oh,
had one of
man.
them already and returned him.
Okay, so what is the midfield gonna look like for Madrid going into this game if you're moving Tchouaméni out of it and you're moving Valverde out of it?
Okay, listen.
Who are you running? Because I think that's where your
Modric
biggest
has to
advantage
start.
was. Yeah, this game's gonna be a clusterfuck then.
Does he have 90
No,
minutes?
I know.
We're gonna have fucking literally like 250 years of age in a combined midfield. Like this
It's
is
It's
not
gonna be an
pretty.
unk off.
This is gonna be
It's
so
gonna be awesome.
ugly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
Occasion.
Ceballos, Modric, and Bellingham in the
Okay.
midfield, and Bellingham's going to have to
gonna
play deeper.
It's gonna be Bellingham and Nico Gonzalez. They're gonna have to just destroy each other.
They're just going to run.
And
I mean, that's what Bellingham
Well,
does
no.
already every
Physically,
game.
yeah, Bellingham is the way better player. Obviously, I think
No,
Nico's
I'm
physically
just
is gonna have
saying-
to hold his ground.
As far as running, it's just like I'm saying, like
Mhm.
Bellingham already is running himself into the fucking ground. I'm sorry for cussing constantly, but
No,
running
we do
himself
it all
into
the
the
time.
ground.
You act like we haven't been cussing.
Yeah, I don't know if this is PG, dude. I forget.
No, it's not.
You think
We
we
started
know the
PG and then it turned very quickly into this can't be PG.
Okay, good.
There's too much anger in this podcast to be PG.
Dude, yeah, especially this year, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think Bellingham's running himself into the ground. I feel bad for him. Him and Rodrigo are just like doing everything they can. And Mbappe and Vinny are just kind of walking around a lot of the time, just hanging out. And like, that's just like, it's fine. I don't mind it because like there's going to be some players on the team who just aren't going to play defense, and that's fine. We don't need 11 players playing defense. A little pressure would be nice, but when they lose the ball, like I've seen so many times this season, Vinny or Mbappe lose the ball in like midfield and just like walk away, and the whole team is chasing back and they're just walking. I'm just like, oh, dude, this has never happened before. I used to watch Ronaldo like run his ass back to goal and throw in a tackle when he lost the ball. Like, this is like ridiculous.
He held
And,
himself
like,
accountable, though.
Yeah, 100%.
That was a big thing for Ronaldo, I think, was that he always held himself accountable no matter what, for especially at Madrid. And whereas these guys, I think we've seen it for a couple of years now with Mbappe. There's a lot of times where he'll fuck up and then he's just like, they can deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my job to deal with that.
Last game, Vinny
It's definitely
was
a mental
pushing
thing.
a little more, and it was nice to see.
I mean, I
'Cause
was
he
next
used to be like
on
that,
that
bro.
offsides one. I
Yeah,
feel like that was crazy. You were literally,
Yeah.
why is he offsides? walks his ass back, still is offsides, and
It
then
was
calls for the ball on the
ridiculous,
cross.
bro. And then it goes perfectly to him, but he's offside because he was just chilling offside for like 3 minutes after he lost the ball. He was like talking to the fans or something. Like, it was absurd. I hope we actually turn it up in the Champions League. There's a chance. There's a chance this game is like a 5-4, 5-3. I think it could just be like a 3-0 City first half, and then we score like 3, some crazy shit. It's gonna be a ridiculous game. I think it's really hard to predict because like we don't even know like what teams are really gonna come out. If we're gonna base it off of like just the past few performances, then it's really unpredictable. Like they could just come out and do there's especially now like City's got a few more options to play with. We have a few less options to play with, and it's just like I don't know how it's gonna work, especially if Madrid has to play 90 minutes because like who's gonna come off the bench in the midfield? The only person is that like I can think of off the top of my head is Camavinga, and like bro has been injured the whole year.
Oh, he's not starting. Yeah,
like he's just like I don't know. It's so risky. And also like one thing I have to talk about, Ancelotti. I don't know if this guy like I'll always love him and respect him, but like I think this guy got like I think the age is just getting to him. Like he seems
he's
to
going
forget.
senile?
Dude, I think he just like has Alzheimer's and like forgets that there's a bench till the 80th minute. Dude, like it's bewildering. We have like a lot of talented players on the bench that could make a difference, especially when we have players that will go 70 minutes and not do anything. Like I forget which game it was. I think it was the 1-1 draw last game. We had like 3 shots, like the 70th minute. And he hadn't made any subs other than Asensio, who had to come on because of the injury. Or it was 2 games ago. When Rudiger got injured. Like it's just like absurd. Like literally there were 3, maybe 4 shots till the 80th minute. And we have 75% possession, which to me at least, and I'm not a manager. I'm claiming to be as good as any of these guys, but to me at least, it's like this is a good game for Modric, right? He doesn't have to run. He can sit there with the ball and pick out passes when no one was creating anything. And Modric comes on in like the 81st minute. Like, what is he gonna do in 9 minutes? It doesn't make sense. And it's just like it's so frustrating to have to watch that when you're just like, please make this up, 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 and nothing's happening. It's like me on FIFA, bro. I'm like, I just want to score with this player. I just want to score with this player. This player's not working.
I was gonna say, how much of that is political? Like, who are you taking? Jude's not coming off without a hissy fit. Vinny's not coming off. Mbappe, Rodrigo might be the only one, and he's been your best
and he's
player.
the only
so
one
like...
consistently being taken off. Also, like it's like, all right, like yeah, let's take our best player off.
It's not. It's nuts. You're right though. You have Endrick and Guler and Brahim Diaz. Like these are all these guys walk into most clubs. Like you know what I mean. Like and they start every game. So
yeah, I feel bad for Arda. I feel so bad for him.
You think he leaves in the summer?
I don't think he leaves. I think there's a chance that he goes on loan, and if he does leave, which I don't think will be this summer, but if he does leave, it will be with like a buyback clause. Real Madrid never they never get rid of their stars without a way of getting them back. Like all their like even players that like may have had some potential have buyback clauses.
You could send him to United. I'll take him with a buyback clause.
I don't think that would be any better for him.
Well, he might
Yeah,
play
you're
every
playing wing
game.
back, kid.
Yeah, that's true. He can play a
He'll
little
get minutes
more.
for sure.
He'll get minutes for the first week, and then they'll see that it's just like, damn, nothing's really working. They're like, all right, we'll just go back
Bring
to
on
the
Xerxes.
OGs.
Yoro's gonna jump into his suitcase on the way back to Madrid.
How's he
Okay,
doing?
Yeah,
Yoro?
Yeah.
He's
as,
being
as good as you can.
yeah,
As you
he's
can
being
imagine,
chucked
a
in.
teenager
As great
and a
as he
team in
could
13th
possibly
place
can.
is looking. Yeah.
I've enjoyed his cameos.
He looks.
He's
hasn't
playing
looked
next to
bad,
fucking
yeah.
Maguire, dude. That's a difficult task.
Hey, Maguire won you guys a game.
He was
That's right.
offsides.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't talk any city in there.
Yeah,
No,
Mila.
no,
let's
it was
switch.
for him.
Let's switch. Let's switch
Well, I
focus
think-
to city.
I think the best way to go about talking about City is to talk about how to deal with this Madrid team. Because I've told Shadman for a while, and he said the same thing about City. This is the best time to play our teams. And
really
unfortunately,
is.
our teams are playing each other.
Unless you're Chelsea.
Well, yeah.
You guys are the worst fourth place team ever.
It's unbelievable.
Like, the defense right now is like a big one. Ruben Diaz played 45 just to get his legs underneath him. Leighton Orient.
He played 45 minutes in the FA Cup.
Yeah, they subbed off both center backs.
He started it. Also, that's the one thing I didn't get to talk about at all is these little mentorships that they're doing are fucking making me very happy as a defender. Because it's Diaz with Rice.
Yeah.
Rice. The little Portuguese connection,
I need
speaking
him to say
connection.
it. I need that. You know the videos they do where it's like their names.
Yeah.
I need
Iker
that for
Rice.
him. Yeah. Has he done it yet?
No, I don't think he has.
All right,
Maybe
I'm just
he
gonna
has.
keep calling him a Brazilian kid then.
Yeah, and then they're having Stones. It looks like Stones is mentoring Kusanov. In my
How does that
eyes,
work?
yeah, vibes. Just Stones, just going.
Thumbs up.
Oh. Sometimes they be good, sometimes they be shit.
Basically, what it seems like to me in that regard is that they're having the partners. Because to me, Kusanov is a lot more like Diaz. Heiss is more like Stones, and I think they're trying to make them more well-rounded. So Diaz is mentoring Heiss in the things that he's not good at. Whereas on the ball stuff, Kusanov is not as good at it, and they're having Stones mentor him in that. So that's cool. But back to what the main point is, what the hell are we going to see against Madrid? Right back is the big one.
Oh, God, I just thought about Nunes playing against.
Oh, dude, that guy's not coming near this game.
Oh,
I don't want to
man.
see him a minute in this fixture.
Can I
Both
add
legs. I don't
something?
want to see him. Yeah.
In our history, Guardiola has always pulled some weird shit in our games. He just starts
He
the
does
most
do that.
absurd lineup you can imagine.
He's gonna play Ederson at right back.
He's like, just hit the long balls.
over Truman, just
I
find the
have
space.
a feeling it'll be.
Kusanov.
I want it to be Kusanov. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a Kanji.
I just don't like any of the options on paper, but yeah, you're gonna have to
I
send
was
someone
watching
out there and be
LB
brave.
talk
right?
about it, and
He's
it
gotta
was
be
he
brave.
was like, Akanjo's got Bozo in him.
He's gotta have
Mateus
someone to
Nunes
pray.
got Bozo in him, and we're playing Vinny Jr.
Can't blame Kyle.
No, we can't. But Kyle won't give. None of these guys
Oh, yeah, he
are going
wouldn't
to
help.
be
He wouldn't
nearly
help.
as bad as that. I think it has to be Husanov, though, because no one else is going to keep up with that pace of Vinny. The only reason I don't think you play Husanov at right back is because he's going to play at center back to cover a little bit of the
For
pace coming
Diaz.
on the inside. Diaz and him, maybe.
It should be
Um,
Stones so that they can speak Jamaican to each other. That's the language he's learning.
Oh, really?
The Wagwan General.
Juan General.
That's good.
So do you put Rico at right back, or is that
Dude, that's the thing.
is
Okay,
that a
obviously we played Leighton Orient over the weekend, but I love watching Rico Lewis. Every time we go forward and he's in the build-up, we look like a much more fluid team. It looks like training ground stuff for him. That's been a thing for a lot of City fans, though, is Rico Lewis is more of a luxury player. He plays better when the team is playing better. Obviously, against lesser competition, he's going to play better. I don't think he has the physical ability to take care of Vinny right now. Not at this age. So I don't see him playing at all.
Yeah, I always feel like he's really good at just kind of like filling the gaps in build up, if you will, and just knowing where to be. But to your point, the responsibility of taking care of Vinicius over two legs it's a big ask. For
If he
someone
had
his age.
cover next to him, if Kusanov was here for a little bit longer and he
Right,
was
yeah.
more established in the squad, I think you could pull something like that where it's like, give us more going forward, give us effort coming back, and Kusanov will sweep up any of the mistakes. That'll work.
Yeah.
But
You just can't rely on that yet.
yeah, with the lack of experience, you can't do that. So it's probably going to be, yeah, like it's going to be.
Akanji's the safe option, if you will.
Yeah, Akanji with Diaz and Stones in the middle.
And
That's
then
a lot
Guardiola
of
on the left, just four center backs. Let's go.
To Shadman's point, you kind of just have to hope that Mbappe and Vinny just eat up each other's space.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
I mean, like
in
not
theory,
gonna
those
be like
two
that.
going up against a right back could be mayhem. It could cause a whole lot of problems.
It
But
all depends how we want to go play this game, though. At home, I think we're going to go hard, hit them heavy, especially with the defense they're about to put out. And that issue with that is it takes one fucking pass from a Madrid to break through us. We could be dominating them for 75 minutes, and it'll be 2-0 Madrid by the 77th.
They got guys that can get in behind.
So, yeah. So that's where Kusanov has to play for me. And I think Gonzalez in the midfield is going to mitigate some of that with the activity in the midfield, taking up space, being an actual 6'8" player that can maneuver with a little more speed, the speed of a youngster rather than an old man. That'll help a lot. But like we said, not going to be enough for Jude. Unless Jude has actually just run himself into the ground and he's performing lesser because of that. I haven't seen that. I just feel like he's a little frustrated.
So fucking good,
so
dude.
good.
Yeah.
He's so fucking good.
Yeah, he does a lot of running. He's absolutely.
But that's the thing. He's gonna run through our midfield, and we need Gonzalez to help keep us the ball because we're not gonna. If the game is back and forth, they're gonna win easily. So we got to hold on to the ball. That's the only way we're gonna see success.
Yeah, you have to force them to play. It's weird because it almost plays into their strengths a little bit, making them play off the back foot. But like, if you don't, then they'll just run rampant. I don't.
The way I think we have to do it is
so interesting.
Just eating up their pressure, and then give it to Nico to progress it to De Bruyne, who frees the runners. We'll have 3 runners, willing runners of Marmoush, Holland, and Savio probably. And they're just going to have to run. Dude, I don't think he's going to get into the team.
This is I maybe we're underselling it because of just like where the teams are at, and it's funny.
We have 7 options for our winger positions, and Savio's undroppable, I think.
No, I don't disagree with any of these points. It's just this is a massive game. I don't know. Like I understand Pep does crazy things, but even like when you're talking about putting Kusanov in, like, is he really gonna put a kid?
No, that's the thing. Like, he's not. He's not.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
That's why I think it's gonna be a Kanji. I want it to be Kusanov. I think when you pay that much for a guy in January, you're bringing him in to play. That's got to be part of the discussion.
But to his like kind of to his thought process, like, is this the type of game where like an Mbappe or Vinny could just fuck him sideways?
Yeah,
and
that's
just
what I was thinking.
his confidence.
That's the mental.
That's what I was thinking.
The headspace he has to be in, where this is a difficult decision. But also, if you put him in this game and he fucking puts them on their asses, that's a huge momentum boost too. So I think you got to look at the player that he is. He seems like a little bit of a more shyer character. So this might not be the game to do that. To your point, but skill wise and his attributes, like, he's the perfect guy to just give us a Kyle Walker type of a performance. Obviously not the same, but just physicality, speed to keep up with Vinny. But like you're saying, it's crazy to go ask him to do that in his second game for City. Third game for City.
I can't believe I'm going to bring this up because I never thought I'd actually use it as a point. Him not knowing English or not speaking the same language as most of the other guys is not an okay position to be in when it's Vinny and Mbappe.
Yeah, that's
I totally agree.
That's not chill.
And he also is not a right back, so this would be a big thing.
I think it wouldn't be like a great idea for him to play right back. It's like
I can
one of his first times playing right back, and like against like Vinny, likely sometimes Mbappe. Like if they just the odds of them having a game are high, and if they do, it could be bad. You know, because it's just like spacing is just like his spacing could be.
You guys will
because
get
he
at
hasn't
least
played.
2 goals in the first leg, though, easily, based off of Kanji
It's hard
and
to come
whoever
by
that right
nowadays.
center back is. I guarantee it.
Well,
You'll
you're not
be
playing
wide open
terrorism,
space.
so don't worry. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
if
familiar
I
with
watch
those-
that again, I'm literally never watching another Madrid game.
I wasn't
Dude,
familiar with those
Atletico
La Liga
Madrid
low
is-
blocks, bro. I wasn't familiar with those low blocks they got.
Atletico Madrid is the dirtiest team I've ever seen in my life.
It is super fucking difficult to watch them. This happens every year. I go, oh, maybe they're not that team. And then I watch them and I'm like, nothing has
They're never
changed.
not
I was
gonna be that
cussing
team
out
until
every
Simeone
single one
leaves.
of their players to Mila for like
Dude,
literally
He's like
90
so
minutes.
ugly. He's so ugly. And I was
The-
like, oh.
they spent nearly 100 million on a striker to have him play literally in the midfield.
He does so well for them though in the midfield.
He's ridiculously good,
He's
but it's
such an
just
engine
like
in there.
fuck.
So
it's
annoying.
so
There was one point in
irritating.
the game where Alvarez was guarding Mbappe.
Yeah,
It was open play. Open play. It wasn't like a set piece. Like he was just wild. I don't know how they do it.
It's
Is
Simeone,
Gallagher
man.
still getting minutes over there?
No.
I feel like who would have thought?
We talked about him a lot this weekend, actually. And just
Don't
not
worry.
getting
You
minutes.
essentially loaned him to Atletico by putting Felix on loan to AC
Yeah,
Milan.
we got
Like
a
that-
loan fee. Bro, that's what our fucking. That's what some fans have been like, bro. Are we really coping that bad, bro? We gave him a 7-year contract.
It's God, fuck. It's so funny when you put Chelsea into perspective of other clubs because at the beginning of the year we were like, "What the fuck are they doing?" It worked for a couple weeks. We
Are
were
they
like,
cooking?
"Oh, they're doing something lit." No,
As soon as Maresca said we're not ready, they just went.
I didn't like
Bro,
that.
I didn't
No,
like
They,
it
they
either.
killed their
I didn't like that at all.
confidence.
Yeah.
You should let them ride that.
Especially
Yeah, bro.
a group of young
And then
guys
when
who
they
do that.
lose, you're like, it's fine. We weren't ready. You know,
Said that.
don't stress about it. We weren't ready. We pushed. It was great. No one expected us to be this good. But for
Bro.
him to like midseason be like, nah, my boys don't got it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think the funniest thing was like one of you sent it to the chat, Dylan, Mila. Part of the plan of loaning Felix to Milan is leverage to buy Leao.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mhm.
just average Chelsea report, bro. Like,
yeah.
So
what are we
funny.
fucking doing, bro? Mudryk was the glue. That's what I'm running with.
Yeah,
until
that
further-
really was a combo thing in the text thread. Like that was Mila sent the thing, and I was like average Chelsea thing because that's
Yeah,
what it
bro,
is.
like,
What a weird
yeah.
club. You're a weird club.
Yeah, I have no fun. I want those directors out, bro. Like I know there's always someone that has to be. Well, no, the directors, the sporting, the guys who are just deciding, yeah, fuck it, let's just get Felix back in. Like we clearly like that whole situation.
That was a
like,
ridiculous
Felix,
decision.
Felix, like yes, it's one isolated incident. I said it last week though. Like that's the microcosm of just how these sporting directors have operated. Oh, João Felix, yeah, he's nice. Oh wait, we already have Nkunku and Palmer there.
Bro, they
And
signed Sancho.
And Chukwuemeka, well, he's a left winger, so at least that works. But like Chukwuemeka's also a 10, and now you loaned him out, but he's coming back in the summer. Like, what are we doing? Why do we have 4 10s? Paez is coming next year. We committed a lot of money to him. Esteval apparently wants to play as a 10. Like, what's the approach?
Chelsea are like buying players as if it's meme coins. They're like, I'm going to sprinkle a little here. I'm going to sprinkle a little there. I'm going to.
Yeah, I mean, they're buying
One of them will
players.
hit. One of them will hit.
They're just buying them thinking they can sell them on, but like
Yeah, that's what we all think.
They
Yeah,
got a
exactly.
they got a Dogecoin like with Palmer. That was their like big hit. They're like, holy shit, we can do this
Palmer-
with everyone.
And yeah, they can take the credit for the Palmer signing. Palmer was a deadline day play. You know what I mean? That was the last
Literally.
ditch. We didn't get Olise. He extended with
You
Palace.
guys
So then we
got
went
him
after
for
Palmer.
a steal. That's the difference. These
we
other
were
guys
trying
are
to get
not
Olise.
steals.
We were trying to get Olise the whole
You guys
time.
are
We
just-
ended up
okay,
with Palmer.
hold on. We went way off topic
Like-
though.
We did. We went into Chelsea. Okay, I was gonna say I think that you both have said your piece about your squads. Do we want to do a combined 11 or we just want to do predictions?
Combined 11 with the fit players
Yeah,
right now.
literally
Oh,
Frankenstein.
funny.
We're doing it again. I think we
Okay.
did. Who did we do
Do
it? What did we do a combined 11 with last time? Where we're
Wow,
just
that right back
Frankenstein
position is
idiots?
gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
Blank.
It's gonna be dirty.
Blank.
We're playing with 10.
Uh,
All right,
let's do it.
Okay, combined 11. The way we're doing it is, I'll say 2 players. You just pick one.
yeah.
Okay.
Dylan thinks he runs things over here. He doesn't. He's not.
I don't. I'm just trying to put us on line for something. This is gonna be gross. I'm on.
Okay, do it.
All right. Let's build a combined 11, a Frankenstein monster for Real Madrid versus Man City, starting in net. Who do we got?
Yeah.
Pretty obvious.
Courtois. Cool. Right back. Let's go with who's right backs in the situation. It's
Valverde Akanji.
Carvajal's ghost.
It's got to be Valverde Akanji.
No, dude, Valverde. I feel like we can't put Valverde in there. It would be a coach.
But he's probably
we have to pick a Frankenstein. That's true.
No, that's what's going to make.
I think it's either him or Asensio.
You don't think Asensio
there, but
center back?
Who plays center back?
Yeah, that's true. We don't have
okay.
it
Let's go with Valverde and Akanji.
Yeah, it has to be Valverde.
I'm going to go Valverde.
Yeah.
With the bozo that Akanji's been this season, I think I'm also going Valverde. Just crazy.
So, Real 2 currently. All right, center back.
Center backs.
We don't want to Kusanov?
It's not going to be
Ruben Dias.
It'll be Diaz and Stones.
Okay.
Probably.
Diaz or Chouameni?
I'm taking both the center backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stones
one's
or
not
Asensio.
a center back and one's
I'm taking Asensio over Stones, personally. From what I've seen from him the past 5-6 games, the guy's a monster. That's the only way to describe him. If it wasn't for him, we would concede 5 a game. He single-handedly covers the whole back line. He's the fastest player back there. He's by far the most aggressive player back there. He's probably the best on the ball. It's weird to say with Chouameni in there because the guy's a fucking midfielder. But, the way that Asensio passes that ball, his long balls are disgusting. So, personally, I'm going with Asensio. But, obviously, that's my take, and I'm biased. So.
It's hard.
I'll back
I'm
it.
still going Stones.
You sold me.
I think Stones is, if not the best, one of the best center backs when he's fit. And
when he's fit.
He's been
but
fit
is
for
he
a
in
couple
form
games
right now? Because Asensio's in form.
Out of form.
He's looked timid defensively. I think we were
on the last game. Yes.
Him of that.
Yes. The last game is fine. The Arsenal game, yes. The one before that, he looked really fucking good. In the knockout game with Bruges, basically, he looked like his old Rolls-Royce self. So he had 2 assists that game.
It's a tough one. I think it's a
coin toss.
That's a toss. I'm gonna, because I don't want there to be a draw, I'm gonna go Asensio because I don't have a good argument either way. So we'll go Asensio.
No, I don't watch enough Asensio, so I'm fine with it. John Stones hasn't played enough minutes anyways for me to make a big deal about this.
Fair. Left back, Garcia or Gavardiol?
There's only one.
Yeah, it's probably Gavardiol there. Yeah,
there's only one.
Decent.
Okay.
Midfielders, it's not even 6, 8, 10. These guys don't play it like that. So
there will be defensive
is it Nico and Ceballos?
Yeah, I think that would probably be the one. If you're going like for like, it's going to be Modric, KDB, Ceballos, Nico, and Gundogan, Kova, and Jude.
So let's get Jude in there first.
Jude is one of them.
What the fuck about Kovacic?
Modric is probably one of them since they're all old anyways.
Modric over KDB? I honestly really don't know who I'd pick for that.
I think it has
they're both
to be
old and not really playing minutes right now. So
I think
I really don't care.
both of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we could split that one.
To be both
Just stick both of them?
Yeah, they're not playing enough minutes. Neither of them are for us to say anything. What?
They're both too class to just be nah. Because the thing is, Modric will still have his game where he'll have an incredible game. Same with De Bruyne. Obviously, it's not as
what we're gonna get out of.
It's not happening as consistently because of their age and fitness. But they still have it in them to produce magic. So
Sure.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go with Danny Ceballos or like no offense, one of the city bums over De Bruyne and Modric, bro. Like it has to be Bellingham, De Bruyne, and Modric.
I can
Class
work
is
with that.
permanent.
I can work
That's
with
fine.
that.
That's fine. I'm done having Uncation with Bellingham. Like, let's just do it.
Nico's had 20 minutes at City, so I
22.
feel like it's
Yeah.
22 minutes. I think it's hard to put him in this team.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
The forward line is way more fun to talk about.
the
Yeah,
forward
this is
line
gonna be crazy.
insane.
Right
this is
wing
gonna be
is it
I think it has to be Rodrigo. He's our best player.
Rodrigo and Foden, right? Those are the two we're picking between.
No, I thought it was
we didn't have Foden
Rodrigo
on the team.
and
Savio? Oh,
Yeah.
that's Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Rodrigo's
I think
on the-
Savio.
Rodrigo's
Savio
on
can
I was
the-
going
definitely
Rodrigo regardless, but
compete.
at
Yeah,
least would have
Rodrigo's on the
Rodrigo.
right for me.
definitely got it.
he's just our most effective player right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holland, I
I'd throw
haven't
Holland
talked
up
about
there.
this. He
I'd
is
throw
gonna
Holland
have
up
a
there.
field day against you
Yeah,
guys.
he might.
Rudiger
Yeah,
was the
those
one that shut him
center-backs.
down. Rudiger was
Yeah,
the
it's gonna
key
be
to
he's
shutting
gonna have
Holland
a field
down.
day.
If he has a shooting boots or half a shooting boot, then I think he's gonna
I know,
eat.
dude. It's
Dog,
gonna
if
be
he has half a
scary.
leg, he'll be all right.
It's gonna be scary.
Dude.
Let's go
yeah.
to left wing first, because that I feel like it's Marmouche or Vinny.
It's got to be Vinny.
Yeah, and it's Vinny. But the top,
yeah.
the top player. This is where we can have conversations because
Yeah.
it's literally we haven't had this matchup in fucking forever. It's the one that I assumed that we all thought was going to be the conversation every year from now till forever, right?
Not in the Champions League playoff before the
32.
knockout.
This wasn't the circumstances that we thought it was going to be, but Mbappe and Holland. Mbappe and Holland for the first time, I think it since 2022 or 2020, something like that. Like long time. Who are we going with? Who's our striker? Both not their best seasons, but both have still bagged a fuck ton of goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you can make a case for either at this point.
I
You
think
can
you
make
can.
the same case.
They're so
I would
different
say
too.
for
They're so
either
Like,
of them.
different.
we're not really
like,
comparing them in the way they play. So
Holland
it's like,
is
what do
going to
you
have an
prefer?
advantage with the smaller defenders that we have back there and inexperienced defenders we have back there, whereas Mbappe is going to have a field day with the slow defenders that City have back there. So it's like both of them have
Ederson, high
advantages.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them have advantages, and both of them are not having a great season. They're not having a bad season.
To their
They're both
standards,
bagging
yeah.
still. Yeah, there's like Mbappe. I think has like
He's got
I think
16.
almost
and-
nearly like 25 GAs already. Like, you know, like
People
so,
were saying that he was like the worst. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's-
It's crazy.
No. The start of that season was really bad.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was- No, it
watching- I was
was
tuning in.
rough.
I was
I was
going to
watching a
kill
lot of it.
myself.
Yeah.
It's rough. For fuck's sake, he's still Mbappe, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted Gyökeres.
Yeah.
So
It's
this
a shit
is
show.
literally just which
it's-
player you like.
Literally, hey Siri, toss a coin.
I think so. That's with a lot of this right now. Is like they're both so shit in a lot of positions that it's like you pick which shit you want, and then
Yeah.
there's only a
at
few
the good- and
positions
then
where
at
you're
the
like, okay,
best
these guys are
positions,
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mbappe because I'm not picking a City player if I had the choice.
I also have his jersey.
Boom.
I think that's why I'll also go Mbappe. I do not have a Holland jersey.
There we go, dude.
Lame.
The turtle. The turtle strikes again.
Well, you've heard it first here, folks. Clash of Clans thinks Mbappe is a world beater and way better than Holland.
Okay. I
And
officially
slam the over
resign.
for that game.
I resign.
Watch it be 0-0.
Slam
in
both teams to
It
score
will
and
not.
over.
It will not be 0-0.
No, it won't.
Both
It's
teams to
gonna be like
score and
45 to
over,
0.
parlay them, and put your entire bag on it.
A new
Responsibly.
segment.
Yeah, responsibly.
Everything that you can and cannot lose.
Brought to you by Steak, BetGM, BetGM.
Not financial advice.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
vibes.
Okay, let's wrap this episode up with the prediction for the game. Shad, you start us off as the Madrid fan. What do you think this goes?
I think it is 2-2.
Is this just the first leg or
Yeah,
First
the
leg.
whole?
First leg.
First leg.
I think the first leg 2-2. I think City scores 2, and then we score 2, and then we just sit there and jerk each other off for 45 more minutes and then go home.
Good result for
maybe,
Madrid there.
And then, yeah, it would be a great result. That's also like kind of what I'm hoping would happen. Because like if I don't think we have the team anymore, the individuals that are just like they don't stop. You know, we have a few of them. We have a few guys that just won't stop, even if it's 2-0, 3-0. They won't stop. They'll keep going. Like our team used to be like that. We had some killers, but we don't have the killers anymore. We have a few killers still. There's some. There's like 4, 5 maybe, but as far as like Tchouaméni, he's gonna give up. Like probably like Fran Garcia, like if it like he'll probably give out. Like I don't know. It's just like we can't allow City to have a lot of momentum in the first like 20-30 minutes. I think that's going to be like very key to the outcome of at least this game. I think that the 2 legs are going to be just a mystery. I don't know, like with the injuries and people coming back and stuff, it's just going to be weird. But I don't know. I think this game, the key for Real Madrid is to absorb the pressure, not sit back. I don't mean sit back, but like just be able to like actually withstand that pressure, because I think the first like 10-15 minutes will be a lot of pressure, and if we could withstand that, it will become a more even game and it'll be back in like it'll flow a little more, which would be good for us. But yeah, I think 2-2.
2-2. Mila, as a City fan, you're next.
Every part of me wants to say 2-0, but I know for a fact we're going to concede, which is the worst part about the season. So
Definitely conceded.
You just conceded to a team from the halfway line. You want to
okay,
say?
you know what?
They're in League One.
Own goal, okay?
Right, sorry, you guys caused it.
You guys scored on yourself.
Even better.
Against,
Even better. Call it. 3, 2, 2-1, 2-1.
2-1. Real?
It's gonna be 2-1. No, Real haven't beaten us at home, so I'm not putting that out there.
2-1
I don't
feels...
think it'll happen, even in this season. I think we got to hold on to that.
I think if we were strong, it would have been the time.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe if we had a center back.
What if you had one?
But the thing is, the more you guys push, the more you're gonna be opened up. So that's basically how it's gonna go. Like... Whoever exposes themselves in this match.
Okay.
Let's go to Shadman's jerking off point, you know?
I think it's gonna
We're all
happen.
tying it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's been a rough week.
We're gonna have to take it to you guys at home. We're gonna have to. Like we can't afford to go back to the Bernabeu and try to see it like a 1-0 or a 0-0. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be the key. The fact that we play at home in the second leg is so big.
You guys play Liverpool, Mila, in between here?
No, I play Newcastle, but who cares?
Still. Madrid's probably going up against some Spanish side that's playing their homegrown talent, so... Touche.
Those are the games they're losing.
Yeah.
86%, but 3 shots, no creative, like absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I was not familiar with those low blocks over there.
Oh my god, it's vicious down in
they make Sean
España.
Dyche look like a progressive manager.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, the Premier League's fast, dude. You watch La Liga, you're sitting there analyzing where the pass could have gone. Like
I'm thinking about Lewandowski's dances. You know what I mean? Like, what's he gonna do next?
Which dance is he picking?
You literally can go on your phone for 5 minutes, and the ball will end up back in the spot. You know what I mean?
Like, still passing it back to Araujo anytime I'm watching Barca. I look up, pass back to the keeper. Cool. It's cool.
Alrighty, Grant. What do you think?
I've had a lot of time to think about it. and I will go 4-4.
4-4.
Bro,
Yeah.
I mean, look how long we
Slam
talked
the
about.
over, boys.
Look how many times we've talked about the defenses of both teams, whether it's City and like an average of like 50 pace in the back line,
Yeah.
or Madrid literally not having a senior center back. I mean, like Haaland and Mbappe and Vinicius are going to be on the pitch. Like, what are we doing?
I'm sorry. You're right, but when you say 4-4, my mind thinks we scored 4 goals and then conceded 4 goals. Not like, oh, we're going back and forth. It's 1-1, 2-2, 3-3.
Oh, I can see that.
We
That'd be
totally
pretty funny.
score 4 in that,
Yeah,
and
And
then
then
we
they
concede
scored 4.
And that would actually make me turn off my TV for
That'd
like.
be content. But yeah, that's just me kind of saying I don't actually have a prediction, but it's just going to be a hideous game. Like I have no idea. Like to everyone's points throughout, who knows? But I think it's probably going to be explosive if the attackers are on their games.
Yeah. No, I'm going in a similar sense. This has that same kind of feel as it did when it was Benzema and it was like the 4-3 where it ended up going back to the Bernabeu. This feels like it's going to be similar. I'm going to go 4-3 for the exact opposite reasons where both teams are really good. This is because both teams are really bad right
Who's
now.
winning?
I'm never picking. It's just like I'm
You're
not
just
picking
picking
City
a
to win.
4-3.
I'm not picking City.
No,
to
he's
win.
never
No.
picking.
I'm not
never
picking City to win.
This is where
also-
you get expert analysis, everybody.
I still got Ronaldo behind me. Like it would be disingenuous.
Hey,
Even though
He
the
almost
best
came to us. Not that
he
long
did,
ago.
and then we bought him, and then you guys almost got.
He
him.
almost
welcome.
went to Barcelona too.
Yeah,
You're
That
dude.
welcome.
didn't
Well,
happen.
he's the
I
greatest
actually-
player ever.
I know
So.
it's funny you bring that up, Dylan, because like I think with where United are at now, I think it's Ronaldo's fault.
You know what? No comment,
You guys should sign him.
dude. He'd be better.
Yeah,
He would bang in goals.
Yeah,
He
he
would get scapegoated though.
He's like,
I think
you
he
mean
can-
you guys
he can
are
do a job
gonna
at Rashford.
cross the ball to
Would
me
you-
all the time now? And you're
Just
like,
put him at wing back.
yes.
They just need to cross to him. Literally, no one jumps like that guy. He could be.
They need
55
attackers
and
at
he'll
wing
just-
back.
I saw that video of him scoring with Duran in the background. Like, oh my god, Ronaldo just scored in front of me, and I'm making $5 billion a week.
Yeah, that was absurd, dude. That made me so sad. I was such a fan of Duran.
It's okay. He's going to
me
be
too.
23 and
He'll
he'll
be
end
back.
up back. Like
He'll be
But like, watch him just be shit.
Yeah, someone's gonna pay over 100 million, and he's not gonna be good. I have no idea who would ever do something like
No
that.
one is ever gonna pay. If you buy someone from the Saudi league for over 40 million, like you're a sicko.
Let
That is
Tom
pretty
cook.
sicko.
I'd buy
You're
Conte
a
for 40 million right now.
Unless it's homegrown talent, there's no reason to pay that much because most
I'd
of the
pay-
guys are.
I'd
It's
pay
not
40 for
worth
Conte right now.
That's
Like,
crazy. You
I
say
wouldn't-
you have the
He would
best
play
six in
30
the
minutes
league.
for you guys, and then he'd be gone.
His leg would explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. All right, we good to wrap it up?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Alrighty. Shadman, thank
a
you
good one. It's been a
for
pleasure.
coming back on and indulging with us.
Of course.
As I promised, a short episode, only an hour and 20 minutes. So, from Mila, Grant, Shadman, and myself, we have been Clash of Clubs. This has been episode 28, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal! Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent! Potentially life-changing! That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.